From sultans with swords to ties in boardrooms, watch the power shuffle with Turkish leaders. Osman I founded the Ottoman Empire in 1299, leading it from a small principality to a rising power. His reign is remembered for establishing a strong foundation that would influence centuries of Ottoman rule. Orhan expanded the empire across the Balkans and Asia Minor, consolidating Ottoman rule. His leadership saw the establishment of the first Ottoman administrative and military institutions. Murad I led the empire's first major conquests in Europe, notably winning the Battle of Kosovo. He strengthened the Janissary Corps, solidifying Ottoman military prowess. Bayezid I earned the nickname the Thunderbolt for his rapid military campaigns, but was defeated and captured by Timur at the Battle of Ankara, plunging the empire into civil war. Despite his fall, his rule marks a period of rapid expansion. Mehmed I reunified the Ottoman Empire after a decade of civil strife known as the Ottoman Interregnum. His reign is seen as a period of recovery and consolidation. Murad II's reign was marked by his struggle with Christian powers, notably leading to victory at the Battle of Varna. He also abdicated in favor of his son, Mehmed II, but returned to the throne to stabilize the empire. Mehmed II, known as Mehmed the Conqueror, famously captured Constantinople in 1453, marking the end of the Byzantine Empire. His rule saw the transformation of the Ottoman state into a dominant imperial power. Bayezid II focused on internal stability and promoted cultural and scientific achievements, overseeing the growth of arts in the empire. His reign was largely peaceful compared to the military exploits of his predecessors. Selim I, known as Selim the Grim, expanded Ottoman territory into the Middle East, including the conquest of the Mamluk Sultanate, bringing Mecca and Medina under Ottoman control. His reign marked a shift in Ottoman focus from Europe to the Muslim world. Suleiman the Magnificent, the longest reigning sultan, expanded the empire to its peak both militarily and administratively, and he was also a patron of the arts. His rule is often considered the golden age of the Ottoman Empire. Selim II, often called Selim the Drunkard, presided over a period of internal decline and handed much of the control to his viziers. Despite his weaknesses, the empire continued its military campaign successfully, notably in Cyprus. Murad III led the empire through wars against Persia and Austria, but is remembered for the empire's slow decline in internal stability. His court became known for its intrigue and corruption, marking the beginning of a long period of internal strife. Mehmed III is known for leading the empire during the Long Turkish War, including the victory at the Battle of Kerestes. His reign was marked by increasing internal tension and the execution of his 19 brothers, a sign of the empire's growing instability. Ahmed I is remembered for building the iconic Blue Mosque in Istanbul. His rule saw the end of aggressive Ottoman expansion and the beginning of peace negotiations with European powers. Mustafa I was mentally unstable and reigned briefly twice, being deposed each time due to his inability to lead. His periods of rule are seen as chaotic and indicative of the power struggles within the Ottoman court. Osman II, a young and ambitious ruler, attempted military and administrative reforms, but was overthrown and murdered by the Janissaries. His death highlighted the growing power of the military in Ottoman politics. Murad IV restored order to a chaotic empire by crushing rebellious factions and imposing strict laws. His reign is remembered for his authoritarian rule and the recapture of Baghdad from the Safavids. Ibrahim, known as Ibrahim the Mad, was notorious for his erratic behavior and mismanagement, leading to his deposition. His rule accelerated the empire's internal decline and corruption. Mehmed IV, despite his long reign, largely left the governance to his grand viziers, including the Köprülü family. His reign saw military failures, including the failed siege of Vienna, leading to his eventual deposition. Suleiman II came to the throne in difficult times, marked by military defeats, but under his rule, the empire saw some stabilization thanks to the efforts of capable Grand Viziers. His reign, though brief, is seen as a period of recovery. Ahmed II ruled during a time of military setbacks, most notably against the Habsburgs. His reign is largely seen as a period of Ottoman military and administrative decline. Mustafa II led the empire during the Great Turkish War, which resulted in territorial losses after the Treaty of Karlowitz. His defeat and abdication reflected the empire's diminishing power in Europe. Ahmed III presided over the Tulip period, a time of cultural flourishing and westernization. His reign, however, ended in rebellion and his abdication. Mahmud I was able to restore stability after the chaos of Ahmed III's fall, successfully defending the empire against Persian and Austrian threats. His reign is often seen as a turning point in modernizing the Ottoman military. Osman III had a relatively short and uneventful reign, but is known for being reclusive and detaching himself from public affairs. His lack of involvement left the empire under the control of viziers and palace officials. Mustafa III attempted various reforms in the military and economy, but faced resistance from the entrenched elites. His reign ended with the empire still struggling to adapt to the changing political and military landscape of Europe. Abdulhamid I ruled during a time of continuous military defeats, particularly against Russia. His attempts at reform were overshadowed by the empire's growing weaknesses. Selim III initiated significant reforms, especially in the military, known as the Nizam-i-Sedid reforms. However, resistance from the Janissaries and conservative factions led to his deposition and eventual assassination. Mustafa IV was installed by reactionary forces, but quickly overthrown due to his inability to lead effectively. His brief reign is mostly remembered for the failed attempts to halt reform. Mahmud II is known for abolishing the Janissary Corps and initiating major administrative, military, and legal reforms, setting the empire on a path toward modernization. His reforms laid the groundwork for the Tanzimat era. Abdulmajid I ushered in the Tanzimat reforms, modernizing the empire's infrastructure, administration, and legal systems. His reign is viewed as a significant step towards European-style modernization. Abdulaziz, a more autocratic ruler, resisted further reforms and became increasingly isolated in his final years. His rule ended in a coup, and his death remains controversial, possibly being a suicide or murder. Murad V reigned for only 93 days before being deposed due to mental illness. His brief rule left little impact, and he spent the remainder of his life under house arrest. Abdulhamid II is remembered for his authoritarian rule and his suppression of the 1876 constitution, as well as for overseeing the empire during a period of intense political turmoil. His reign ended with his deposition following the Young Turk Revolution. Mehmed V was largely a figurehead during World War I, with real power held by the Young Turks. His reign saw the empire's catastrophic losses during the war, culminating in its eventual collapse. Mehmed VI was the last Ottoman Sultan, ruling during the empire's dissolution after World War I. His abdication marked the official end of the Ottoman Empire in 1922. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk founded modern Turkey, replacing the Ottoman monarchy with a secular republic. His sweeping reforms transformed Turkey into a modern, secular nation-state. İsmet İnönü succeeded Ataturk and continued his legacy, guiding Turkey through World War II with a policy of neutrality. His leadership is remembered for maintaining stability during a volatile period. Kemal Bayar was Turkey's third president and oversaw the transition to a multi-party system. His presidency marked a period of significant economic development. Cemal Gürsel came to power following a military coup and was instrumental in stabilizing the country during the early 1960s. He helped draft a new constitution that aimed to safeguard democracy. Cevdet Sunay continued the tradition of military influence in Turkish politics and presided over a period of economic modernization. His presidency was marked by increasing social unrest. Fahri Koroturk was a former admiral who led Turkey through a turbulent period with growing political violence and instability. He sought to maintain neutrality and order in a challenging era. Kenan Evren led the 1980 military coup and served as president during the ensuing military rule. His presidency is remembered for restoring stability, but also for the harsh suppression of political dissent. Turgut Özal modernized Turkey's economy, opening it up to global markets. His presidency is seen as a period of economic growth and increasing international engagement. Süleyman Demirel, a veteran politician, led Turkey through significant changes in both the economy and the political landscape. His leadership helped shape modern Turkey's political institutions. Ahmet Necdet Sezer was known for his staunch defense of secularism and the rule of law during his presidency. His term was marked by tensions with the ruling government over the role of religion in politics. Abdullah Gül was Turkey's first president from an Islamist-rooted party, and his tenure saw important reforms aligning Turkey with European Union standards. His presidency marked a significant shift in the country's political dynamics. Recep Tayyip Erdoğan has transformed Turkey's political landscape, consolidating power and shifting the country toward a more authoritarian model. His tenure has been marked by a combination of economic growth and increasing political polarization. Which one do you think is the most impressive? Leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe.